Welcome everybody. Just realised I've got my dirty old work clothes on, but when a moment arises I'll make the most of it. So I'll do a little video on something regarding the centre north, or the Aurora Borealis. Welcome to the Tomb of Illumination. Someone asked, one of my subscribers asked, what happens when we enter this Arctic centre? My response, whether I've sent it or not yet, would be what makes you think a mere mortal can actually find it, let alone go into it? Like I've said before on many other videos, this is hidden in the centre Arctic. There is a place that is known, it is called the place of inaccessibility. Despite what you've been told, what they write, what they say, nobody's been there. Now, it's mirrored, you can't see it. But can a mere mortal get in there or not? I don't know. But you know, the Freemasons have had submarines up there looking around all the time for years. Don't think they've ever found anything. But whether they actually can come across the zone being underwater or not is another story. Maybe you need to be on the water, and like I say, if you're not in a conscious state, you'll never find it. So I was going to refer them to the mythological story of the two fishermen that went in there and found this mythological place where no one ever aged. I think that was their version, but I've gone online to try and find out what it was called. I always forget what these places are called. But then they took me to a few other stories, and then we got on to the Aurora Borealis myths. I started reading some of them. So I like this one. And I'll read another one to you too if I've got time. This is the Siberian legend, Love Lost. The sun had a son. So let's get it straight here. You'll never understand any of these mythological stories or any religion if you don't understand how the flat earth works. You're just a brain dead zombie if you don't think you live in a flat earth, a flat plane of inertia as in resting state, because earth has come from the black hole, the centre of the black hole, or the hole, is a place of inertia. It's a resting state, and this is why it's connected to meditation. We need to go to that resting state in our minds, because earth is one big brain. It's called the All. Have you read the Kabbalion? Go read that or listen to it. It's on YouTube. The All. The All is in here. Everything's hidden in here. And this is the created. That's the creator. We can't go back to the creator. We're out here. It's like a child trying to go back through the umbilical cord back to the mother. Doesn't happen, does it? But in this situation, earth is attached with the umbilical cord back to creation. We have to go through here to get back there. This is when you die. That's another big story, long story, but you'll get a lot of stories from the near-death experience. People that go through the tunnel to the light, they don't know they're going through the Milky Way, the black hole, through the Milky Way, the tunnel, to the light. They come to the light. And then they get sent back to do God's work. Okay? So to understand this Milky Way, there's the male end and the male end, and the female end is down in here. They come together to form the black hole and the sun. So we can look at it like this. In our night sky, this is what we see at night. They call it Sagittarius A, the galactic centre. So, you know, look up at night and just be in awe, because that is our creator, our Father, F-A-T-H-A, the centre of the black hole of creation, the galactic centre, and there's the sun on its horizon. Okay? It moves around the central vortex of creation over 24 hours. So we see it curving across our sky every night. Science and that tells you we're in it. No, we're not in it, we've come from it. Okay? It's the only time you can see both ends of the Milky Way, the male end and the female end. So there's the male end and the female end. Okay, it's at night. It's projected out to the dark side of Earth, the whole thing. All the stars, all those stars in there are all projected out into a night sky with the Milky Way. So that's one system itself, is the background stars. The other one is the Milky Way. And then you have another system as on the horizon, the ecliptic plane up here from the wave, because it's basically a big wave here at the top. Energy's coming out from the centre, and the wave on the nodal points are the planets that we get a visual perspective of. It's due to your eyeballs reading the frequency. Okay? So anyway, understand the flat earth if you want to appreciate all the mythological stories. I'm the only man on this earth, I'll tell you that's explained all this. Okay? So here we go. The Siberian legend, love lost. The sun had a son. What do they mean by that? Well, the sun, here's your sun, and this is the male entity, the male end, okay? All the males come from here. All the males on earth. Whoop, not man, males. Males, and over here, all the females on earth come from here. Okay? Because our worldly system is a dual system, it's male and female. And it breaks down to all these other entities, such as South Pole, North Pole on a magnet. There's heaps. You can figure that out. The sun had a son. So the sun had a son, a male. A male, yeah. And what happens is the Milky Way moves around and passes all the celestial bodies. That's its job. It's how everything is created. And it's all to do with pairing and to do with the zodiac sign. So that's when all the alignments come into place, when the Milky Way passes over them and draws them in, or moves over them to set them inside the Milky Way. And this is why we have Mercury over here representing the male, Hermes or whatever, and we have the female, which is Venus, over here. So what happens in our whole story of creation is the female will be caught in here at the same time as the male is caught in here. So this is the mythological creation story of marriage between the male and the female. This is the ultimate. This is way above the physical world marriage of male and female. We know how they end up most of the time. Well, at least 50% of the time. But this is perfect. This is the perfect marriage. And this is enlightenment. This is coming back home. This is rebirth. When your star is caught in there and the female. So somewhere on earth, because all the stars represent male and female on earth. Obviously we're human, so ours will be a human star and a female star. So anyway, they marry, and this takes you back. You've come home to creation, and you'll be an immortal, become immortal, everlasting. Your carcass on earth will die, but you'll go on to be whatever. You're up there on the right hand side of God. You're part of the all. You have choices. You avoid the whole reincarnation story. So this mythological story is talking about the sun. It says the Milky Way has passed over and caught a sun. Okay. Now bear in mind, each one of these represents you can break this down again. Everything gets broken down just like a magnet. You chop it in half, you'll still end up with the North and South Pole. So you see that at night, but now you've got to break it down again and imagine this is the North Pole, this is the South Pole, this is the North Pole. This is the South Pole, which is considered as the weak force in physics, and this is the strong force. Strong force. Okay, centre north is a lot stronger, a lot powerfuler because it's more condensed. All the power in the north is just as much power in the south, but the south is more dispersed. So it's weaker per ratio north to south cycle in the Earth's magnetic toroidal field. So where are we going? Lost my line of thought there. Anyway, the Milky Way passes over and catches the male, and it'll catch a female. So let's lead on with the story. The sun had a sun, so the sun's caught a sun, because the sun is tucked into the Milky Way, remember? It moves quicker than all the other celestial bodies. It sweeps across the night sky, or the Earth, 24/7. The sun had a son, Pivaki. I can never pronounce any of these English words. To whom he wished one day wed Neikia. There's the male and the female here. Daughter of the moon. Oh, that's what I was going to draw. So when you break it down, they're mirror imaged. So the north here, rotation, is a mirrored image out here in the south. In a parabolic type image, because this curved down sky here, so it all comes back to the observer as a rotation, the same as what they see up north here, but it's inverted, it's back to front. So anyway, so in this situation you have to imagine there's a Milky Way on this side and there's a Milky Way on the north side, and there's a centre. You could call this the tropical gap, okay, because there's a tropical gap in the centre here separating them. So both ends, because they're mirrored, both ends have the full moon. And it's all about the full moon for man's awakening in his moon sign. There's only one sun because that's the hermaphrodite. That's the male and female coming together to create the sun. But there's more to that too, because basically that's male and that's female. Or, yeah. And on top of that, the moon is the sun. It's just separated, like singularity. They're one, but they come separated in our physical, perceived physical dual world, and that's what we are, male and female in the physical world. We have to reunite and become one, and this is the story. This is what happens to create the sun. The energy system is connected to create the sun, the light of Earth, and the light of the realm, and the light of man. In this situation, it's igniting the light within the man. Whew. Daughter of the moon. The moon, however, wished her daughter to marry Neanus. Hang on. The sun had a son, to whom he wished one day wed Neikia, daughter of the moon. The moon, however, wished his daughter to marry Nainus, the northern lights, and hid her daughter from the sun. Now I've talked so much of this slips out of my mind, so I've got to try and think hard now, remember this. Hide her daughter from the sun. But because the daughter's down here, this is the female entity, it's the male. Hide her daughter from the sun. So she's on this side anyway. Maybe. And in our realm, we see the sun here. So it's at the end of the male end, the sun. It's an image of the real sun back here. So she's down in here, and our sun's out here. So maybe that's what they mean by hidden. Eventually, Neikia and Neanus did wed. They spent each night in a cabin. So they talk about this marriage here, and inside the cabin is in the Milky Way. but Neainus had to leave each day. So, you know, you got your 12-hour, 24-hour day, 12-hour split between day and night. So you've got to leave somewhere along the line. All these stories are sort of intertwined. They're sort of coded or mixed puzzle. They sort of highlight a few things that you need to think about, you know. I had to leave each day before the sun rose and go to the dark side of the earth, which is what we see, don't we? To avoid the sun. Never wanting Neainus to leave, Neakia tricked Neainus into staying longer than he should have one day. Now right there, they're telling us about the period of when this divine alignment for man occurs. And it's an overlay between this northern field and the southern field, and at the same time it's to do with the sun's analemma. Okay, so right there represent the 5 holy days, but I think there's only 3 here and maybe one there maybe. But anyway, when the sun is here, it does not move. This is the 3 days the sun does not move in degrees. 6 days is spring, early spring. It's actually the actual equilibrium, but we don't get it till the equinox. It's all hidden. The whole thing's a secret. So the sun does not move. She stays longer with the sun. The sun and moon are like parallel and flat in the ecliptic plane. See, right there would be the neutral zone, so you can understand that. But when down here at the equinox, the sun's still moving in declination, degrees, isn't it? That's where we said, well, it's back here. It's a big secret. That's what the veil is all about. You know, let's just move along. Neakia tricked Neainus into staying longer, okay? Their relationship was discovered by the sun, who was very angry in a bid to protect her husband. The relationship was discovered by the sun, who was very angry, and in a bid to protect her husband, let's put back to front this, Neakia put herself between the sun and Neainus. So this is what happens. There's a Mercury, that will be a planet that sits between the sun and the moon in here. Okay, this could be your star. That's how it works, and basically how you get a solar eclipse too. It's the alignment within the Milky Way. What's blocking? Because it's all about frequency. You know, like if you add another electron, there's a go. You get if you lose an electron or gain an electron, that sort of thing, go into physics, check that out. To protect her husband, Neakia put herself between the sun and Neainus, allowing her husband to escape. The sun was angry and flung Neakia into the sky, back to her mother, who caught her and held her close, not letting go. Since then, Neakia looks out each night, pining for her husband, who she can never hold close again. So the story of enlightenment only happens this one-off time, and it's such an awesome thing, unbelievable, you cannot explain. Common men have no understanding of it until they go through it. And it's over. It's the whole event's like within 30 minutes, but then you go on to have the love of all this in your system. You understand it all, and it's such an awesome occasion and moment. You long for it again. It's probably part of the story why you're waiting for Christ to come again, or hoping he'll come again. That's one aspect of it, but you know he's not. It's only a one-off event. And the other part of that story is Christ is always coming, because there's different people. Every man on earth, it's his goal in life, to raise his Kundalini, raise his Christ within. Be reborn into the spiritual realm, to take him back home. So when his carcass dies, he's made it. He doesn't have to reincarnate as some other figure or animal or whatever. So, because I've been talking so much trying to explain all this, I've missed the guts of breaking this down totally. But now that you understand how everything works, you can do it yourselves. Okay, so it's when the full moon occurs, and science tells you it's a precise moment in time, but it must last a whole half an hour, 30 minutes, because the whole religious story of Jesus Christ, he came at 30 and gone by 33. Well, we're talking about 3 in the morning here, 3:33 in the morning till 3:03 in the morning till 3:33 in the morning. Okay? So, yeah, I can get more into this with the Zodiac video, another Zodiac video I'll do shortly, about the cornerstone the builders rejected. Okay? Yeah, so I'm a bit disappointed because I didn't break this down like I should. It's slipped out of my mind. I just can't pull it straight out of my head at the minute unless I concentrate fully on it. So you've got the guts. I hope you enjoyed that. Go and read them yourselves. The mythological stories involving the Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights. Oh, actually, if there's time on the, let's have a look. I've got 3 minutes. Quickly, there's another one just here. Took a screenshot before. Man, my phone is playing up something terrible. The Finnish legend, the Aurora Borealis, is a firefox racing across the sky. So it's the Milky Way racing across the sky. Okay. The Finnish word for the aurora is revontulet, which means fox fire. In Finland, they believe as the foxtail touches the ground, okay, because the Milky Way comes up out of there over to the centre north. So basically you could say it shoots over to the Arctic north ground. It goes into the vortex. Okay? Ground. It sparks and glows as he leaps and bounds into the night. The fire spreads to the sky, all the colours. If you have ever seen an Arctic fox chase a lemming in the snow, you will be very familiar with this similarity. Maybe. Okay, so once again it's about the Milky Way. Firefox. Yeah. Okay, I think, what else we got here? Why shouldn't you whistle at the Northern Lights? The Sami people are indigenous to the Nordic countries, believe that the aurora carried the sounds of the dead ancestors. It's all about sound, frequencies. Okay? That's why we get colour. We must treat them with respect. It's taboo to whistle or sing in their presence, otherwise you risk being whisked away by the lights, never to be seen again. Well, you wish. So if I was you, I'd go up there and whistle. You'd be taken. Consciously, not physically. There you go. If you like this sort of stuff, thumbs up, subscribe, and think about joining up with my Patreon. Cheers.